Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your April. One moment. Your April 2019 reading. I am very sorry for missing January and February and, of course, March. But I think you guys would give me some leeway, actually, for March at least. Because I have a feeling, considering, well, since I am a Gemini rising and a Gemini moon, and Venus and Mars and Mercury. Actually, no, Mercury's in Aries. Venus and Mars are also both in air signs, and my North Node is an air sign. So my entire chart is air. So let's just say March was like trudging through mud. Mud that's been there for a long time, actually. So it's even more difficult to walk through, honestly. But January and February, I could say that was kind of how it felt, but it wasn't because of the Mercury retrograde, clearly. I just personally had a lot of, let's just say, crazy stuff happen. Wow. As I'm talking about the planets. And I do plan to explain that to everybody in a separate video. But let's just get into the reading, okay, guys? Welcome if you're new. Hi. I only did around 2 months of videos, but still, I do have previous videos. And if you are one of the people that has watched them before, welcome back. And I'm sorry for, again, missing the last 3 months. I tried all throughout March, just didn't happen. But anyway, I'm doing the readings a little differently than I did them before, trying something a little different. For those of you that have seen my videos before, pretty much I guess I used about 4 different decks. Yeah, I think it's 4 different decks for different areas of life. And I'm kind of trying to just simplify it, basically, okay, guys? However, I am beginning the same way that I did back when. And that is by pulling you, as I'm talking, an Angels of Atlantis Oracle card. This is going to be the archangel that surrounds you. And that has a message for you that you can call upon in the month of April. So, Gemini, it's very interesting because Gemini, you're ruled by the mind, communication, intellect, and you got a unicorn, which to me represents the actual horn on the head. In the place of the third eye, represents that higher knowledge, that higher wisdom. Sort of like an understanding of the cosmos that's just inherent, whether you're aware of it or not, particularly if you've dulled it out in your years. This is kind of like, I feel like this is a reminder for you in the month of April, or an affirmation for you in the month of April, telling you that what you think you know, as far as this kind of thing goes, what you think you've known and what you're questioning is real, is true. What you know is true. What you've known is true. So long as it's in the highest good for you and all of those that you love and all of those that surround you. Now, as I've said before, This is the one card that I read from the book from to give everybody a clearer message. So it's a pretty cool, amazing card. This is like saying, this is the enchantment card, and it's, again, Archangel Michael. And you may have a Leo in your life, because Archangel Michael, I believe, is very closely linked to Leo. But not only that, Archangel Michael is the angel that can help you find the strength and courage and that spark of fire within you to initiate. He can spark your heart back up. And what better way to do that, Gemini, especially for Geminis? And now I'll say us, because technically I'm a Gemini if I've got Gemini rising and Gemini moon. So enchantment, I think, enchantment, magic, mystery, mystical, magical, fantastical, amazing things for Geminis. Things that are out of this world, basically, are the things that can stimulate your higher mind, actually, and can bring you back to life, in a sense. I think that there's some magical, mystical part that makes you feel alive that you're missing currently, or that you've been missing and that you're getting back in the month of April. I really do feel that way. So anyway, let me finally read the actual meaning of the card, okay? So, Gemini. Michael asks you to remember the magic of your life, exactly, by connecting with the path of the enchanted. Oh my God, can I not talk or what? Mercury retrograde ended. Whew, let me begin this over again. Okay, guys? Sorry. Michael asks you to remember the magic of your life by connecting with the path of the enchanted. Is magic missing from your life, or are you aware of a lack of imagination in your creative purpose? Jackson. Sorry, guys. Allow the divine joy of the child within you. Exactly. Allow the divine joy of the child within you to reconnect with the free flow fun that was once present in your innocence. This is a doorway to the numinous. With this card, the unicorn's magical horn touches your soul with the love of its perspicacity? That's bad. I need to pronounce this correctly, guys, okay? I'm sorry. I'm a Gemini rising. I've got a crap ton of Aquarius in my chart. I have to correct myself. I don't want to say this incorrectly, so it'll be 2 seconds. Perspicacity. Perspicacity.
Perspicacity.
Okay.
Perspicacity.
Oh, guys. I'm crazy. Okay. With this card, the unicorn's magical horn touches your soul with the love of its perspicacity. Now we know. If you don't know, now you know. Compelling, eternal, and especially wise about that divine light within you. When it shines, the charisma of your soul. Gemini, are you not known for your charisma? Usually. When it shines, the charisma of your soul magnetizes all people to you. Chant He, H-E-E, through your crown chakra to resonate with the higher frequencies of enchantment. Wow, Gemini. I gotta say, this I definitely feel as though this is like 100% on point for you guys, okay? I'm just feeling that way. I'm going to leave it here. I know it's not like that visible to you, but again, I've said this before, but let me just text this person that is trying to call me and tell them that I'm recording a video. But I've said this before, but really the reason I'm leaving this like this is because it's more for you as well. For me to look at as I'm pulling the cards, but for you also to look at as I'm pulling the cards. Because these are all stories for us to put together. They're puzzle pieces of a story for you that we're putting together. We're putting the puzzle pieces together, and we're both doing it. It's a team effort, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I was saying before in the beginning of the video, when I was telling you guys that I'm doing these a little bit differently, well, I was explaining that I used about 4 different decks in the very beginning. And I would use each deck for a different area of life, or I'd shuffle for 1 card per deck or per area of life. Those were through oracle cards, which I would clarify using 3 or 4 different tarot decks. So it was kind of complicated. Not complicated, just a lot of stuff. So instead, for this month at least for the first 2 weeks, what I'm going to do, and I might do the way that I originally did it for the second 2 weeks of April, but for the first 2 weeks, the way I'm going to do it instead is I'm going to be using my new oracle deck, which is called Trust Your Vibes Oracle Deck, and all of the decks will be listed in the description below. And I'm going to be pulling a card for each week of the month, okay? So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And this will be the oracle card that gives you kind of a general message for the week and what you whoever I'm connecting to, what they need to focus mostly on. Oh, interesting. Week 1, Gemini. It's a team effort. Ain't that the truth? Now, this could be a team effort as in you need to work with other people. You need to understand that you can't do things, you can't. I'm feeling, I don't know where I'm getting this from, guys. I was going to say something totally different, and my mind was not letting me. My mind was like tugging on this other thing that's in my mind. So what I was going to say, what my mind or my soul or my guides are trying to force me to tell you, is that you can't keep something all in your head. I don't know where that's coming from or who that's for, but something can't be just kept in your head. You need to, it's a team effort, meaning the things in your mind, you are the mind, so that is your gift. But great things and great miracles and great occurrences in life, great inventions even, great stories, everything's kind of a team effort. Everything's kind of united in a sense. Did I say this as well about us all reading and putting the puzzle together? I feel like I did. Interesting. So even the tarot readings that you watch on YouTube or that you go to in person or anything like that, it's always a team effort because it's your interpretation, the way that you're choosing to receive certain things. Are you open enough to seeing that some things might be a little bit more abstract and to having to kind of think of them as like metaphorical. I don't know. But so here I'm seeing maybe some of you have some really great idea that's been just stuck in your head that you're not telling anybody for some reason, or maybe you don't know if it's a great idea. But either way, you're not expressing something to other people around you, possibly. I mean, hey, it could even be for other people, and then maybe these two are you, like the 2 sides of Gemini. You see, I see different things in the cards every single time that I do a reading for every single different person or different sign. So I think I got this for another sign, but I interpreted it differently. And you, as the person that I'm reading for, will also be interpreting things differently. But so, for some reason, more than anything, I see this as, if you want to get the thing you're thinking off the ground, you have to get it out of your head first, meaning you just have to tell somebody about it. You have to express it in some way, even if you're expressing it as just a thought. But the fact is, it's stuck inside of you, and you need to release that from your mind so that you can grow it, actually. It's like electricity that's just stuck in you. But also, clearly, this could also simply mean, if you're having any type of struggle at the moment, you gotta laugh, first of all. Gotta be generous, second of all. And you have to work with other people, okay? Like, that's a big part of our life on this earth, is relationships, relating. Because what would be the point if we had no idea what we were or who we were, and we were just walking around the earth by ourselves? What good would that do? I just feel like, where would the joy be too? You know? I guess people could say where the pain would be gone. Well, so would the joy. With every single thing. And this is crazy that I'm saying this, wow, and then I'm saying this and this comes out. But because I was going to say, everything has two sides, everything has polarities, just like you, Gemini, and you have to kind of accept that that's the beauty of you, is that typically a Gemini functioning at their highest, in their highest, is able to see both sides, is always able to hear out two different parties, two different sides. They can see both ends of the coin. Now, sometimes, again, when they've got something stuck in their brain, this becomes a problem. They get, we can get analysis paralysis because there's too many things going on in our brain, and it's like electricity going ding, 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 ding. And then instead of actually getting anything done, maybe we try slowing our mind down. And then, of course, even less do we get done. And we become a little bit disappointed in ourselves, I think, at some points. Because we realize we had so many wonderful, amazing concepts and ideas that we literally ended up maybe letting just fade away, or letting somebody else grab that up in the ethers. Because where do those cool thoughts come from? Of course they come from somewhere else, okay? I mean, we are part of the somewhere else, but the somewhere else we're connected to is giving us inspiration the more we connect to it. But so this is very interesting. What I was meaning with the team effort thing is that we need other people to find beauty, joy, inspiration, ideas. But yes, of course, other people, because we are all each other, are going to hurt us too in some ways. Everybody is reflecting to us what we need to look at inside of us. And life was never meant to be just like rainbows and butterflies. Really, truly. Because it's meant to be an experience overall. But anyway, let me stop yabbering. So your second week, Gemini, you have the card of decide. Now, obviously, this could be many things. Or again, it could maybe be whatever this idea is that you have just that won't leave you alone. This idea that's stuck in your mind. Well, you're not going to be able to decide properly until you connect with other people and try and make this decision not just on your own, per se. Yeah. Because what's interesting too is that the number on this card is 37, which equals to 10, which 10 usually represents the completion of something, coming full circle, finalizing something. And then this one, decide, is the number 29, which would equal to number 11, which is either, 11, or you could make it down or break it down to 2, which in any case, both numbers represent union or united effort, or the dual balance, the juggling, the balancing out of two things. It could even be the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine energies connecting. So, I mean, if you really think about it, these two situations very much go hand in hand. No pun intended. Hand in hand, team effort, united, guys. Aw. Time for crayons is underlining this, decide as well. So here you go. I mean, I always see this card as literally just letting your creative energy flow, just being creative, having fun, honestly. Oh, look at that. And what do you love? Time for crayons. What do you love? Having fun, okay? Again, enchantment. Gemini, remember, enchantment is what's going to help you. That is the energy that is going to help you most listen to your heart. That's going to help you to listen to your heart. There you go. In the month of April, when you really need your guidance, sometimes, Gemini, it's the truth, okay? We can sometimes mistake our heart for what our head's saying, or mistake our head for our heart, okay? Sometimes we don't know the difference between the two, because sometimes they might be seeming like they're saying the same thing, actually, but we need to claim our boundaries between the two, because they are two different things. And yes, you can connect them. Yes, you can unite them. Third week for Gemini. But you do have to know, especially when you're in a moment of turmoil, or any moment where you're feeling there's a shock to the system, maybe. That's when we need to really know and be able to differentiate, be able to discern which one is my head and which one is my heart speaking. And then also, in that moment, and whatever, depending on the circumstance and what the situation is, you need to discern which is better to listen to, which is the more correct one to listen to right now. And that's where your intuition comes in. That's where all of your life experiences, including past life experiences, okay? If you can tap into those things, which the more you meditate, the more you will be able to. Okay, so I'm only taking the first top card. You're the boss, third week. What was I just saying, guys? I totally lost my train of thought. Interesting. You know who got this, I believe, as well? Leo. It's really weird, too, because I did their cards yesterday before you guys. And my plan was, especially because I'm feeling so much of a duality or polarity or opposites type of theme for this month. And I was telling Leo that the theme of that, or if you go further into that theme, what I really mean is that I'm really feeling as though opposites are going to be realizing that they're more alike than they are different in the month of April. That may have already been happening. I don't know, but I feel it extra for the month of April. So I planned to do Aquarius's reading. I kept trying to connect to Aquarius energy in my mind before putting the camera on. And even since yesterday, after I did their reading, and for whatever reason, I kept feeling I have to do Geminis. So here we are. And I am seeing that was correct, because so far, I don't know about you guys, but there's a story. There is a real clear story here. So, you're the boss. How I see this is that when you connect, when you discuss, when you connect with other people and realize that you're working with the world, not against it, and the world's not working against you either, then you'll be able to decide something, because that part that's been weighing on your shoulders or weighing heavy on you, the baggage that's been heavy, you've cleared it. You've unpacked that bag. So there you go, buy a bag. Now you're free. You feel lighter, literally and figuratively. But then you're able to actually clear your mind so that you can decide on something. When you do that, you realize in the third week, you've been the boss all along, aka you're the main driver of your life. You're in the driver's seat of your own life. Anything that you've ever gone through, or anything magical or amazing, even everything, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever, has all been a product of you. Especially you, Geminis. If you've got primarily air, or you are ruled by Mercury, or you are just mostly a Gemini in your chart, you are a master manifestor. You are the magician in the tarot. You are trickster, okay? You are. But you can be the trickster against yourself, because you're not understanding that if you're following a thought that comes to you out of nowhere, because whatever, you're in a situation where something triggers a thought, it sparks a memory in some way. You might not even be conscious of it in the moment that's happening, but something triggers a thought, that little switch goes on in your mind, and it travels to the other thought, and all of a sudden you're completely unconscious, and you're flipping out and having a reaction over something you're not even aware of. And that in turn will create some negative karma. Even if you're just thinking and not reacting, but you're just thinking negatively, you're going to create some negative karma. But then you realize, in the times that you've had beautiful situations happen, you were thinking greatly. You were thinking positively about everything in your life, every situation and every person in your life. You were choosing to maybe view more of a positive, in a positive way, or you're choosing to not follow negative thoughts and emotions, because your thoughts become your emotions, and then your emotions become your thoughts, okay? They go back and forth. And the thing is if nobody's taking the reins, they're just going to keep playing ping pong together, going crazy, going wherever they want, because they need discipline. They need somebody in the driver's seat. If you're not in the driver's seat, then where the hell are you, first of all? That means you're abandoning ship, okay, Gemini? And I don't mean to take a harsh tone, but if you're not driving your life, where are you? There's nothing more tragic than, I guess, the realization that you've abandoned yourself for so long. Maybe you've been here, but in the ethers, just up above, not actually rooted in your body for a while, because it's been too hard. Maybe you've been saying, it's just too hard. I don't want to, it's too hard. Well, you need to decide whether you want to be in this body or not. What is it? And if you want to be in the body, which I'm seeing that you're going to decide you do, because especially you are aware of you're the boss, you need to jump in and actually settle into it, as uncomfortable initially as that may feel. Because you realize, though, it's bigger. You're bigger than that, though. You're bigger than those uncomfortable feelings, actually. You're kind of like extremely magical, Gemini, okay? We all are. And those uncomfortable feelings are just BS. And the fact that anybody would let those little feelings take them out of their own body that they chose to come here in, that they chose to use as their vehicle, the fact that they let those little uncomfortable feelings that are temporary also kick them out of their body, holy shit. You realize so much when you realize that. You're like, holy crap, my car, my vehicle that I was blessed to get, when, not everyone's blessed to get a vehicle like mine that I didn't even have to do anything for. I was just born and I got it. my vehicle I've been letting it sit in the driveway, or I've been letting other people drive it. I've been letting other people drive my car that I'm so blessed to have, and I've just not wanted to even drive in it. Or if I did, I took the back seat and then I blamed the driver for taking us where they took us. When I could have literally kicked them out of the front seat, said, screw this, I'm driving, this is my car. I know where I want to go and I'm going to go there. And even if I don't know everything right now about where I want to go, because that might change every now and again, that's fine. But this is my car and I'm so freaking lucky to have it. And I'm going to actually enjoy it from now on. I'm going to enjoy every experience, even if it makes me sad, even if I feel sad or uncomfortable, even if I feel crazy anxiety inside, even if I can't help but feel like everybody's looking at me in a crowded room, or that I can hear everybody's thoughts or something like that. Even those uncomfortable feelings, I'm going to experience them because this is my car. I have a responsibility to it and I love it. And I'm the boss. I'm the driver of it. It's my car. Okay? I don't know why I just emphasized that so much. Probably because back to basics is on the bottom of you're the boss, okay? And it's number 4, which represents your foundations, your stability, your security. So the 4, it's the house, the structure of a house, a square. And this tells me it's like the very beginnings of the truth of who you are, of creation, of being one, okay? And that ties back into it's a team effort. We're all one together, okay? And when you realize that, also, you don't get maybe as offended by things, okay? In life in general. Play. Again, you need more enchantment. You need more play, guys. 4th week of April, Geminis. 4th week of April. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. I'm just kind of yabbering off, but this is what's coming through, okay? It's always interesting to me to watch back. Whoa, look at that. To watch back wow, what? This is so freaking funny and clear. Holy crap. All right, blah, blah, blah. I was going to say it's always really funny to watch back my videos because then I'm hearing things that I forgot I even said. Okay, 4th week, Gemini. Expect the best. And what does this look like? This is a person who is a magnet. What did I say about you and your manifesting ability when you are at your highest? When you come to the real truth and understanding of the fact that you're the boss, well, then you realize you are a magnet and you do end up choosing to see things through that lens. And what did we get with this card? If I recall, how perfect is this of a circle type of reading? Because look, if I recall, the enchantment card that you got for Archangel Michael said something exactly about, yep, okay. This is crazy. So I'm just going to read the second half of the paragraph. With this card, the unicorn's magical horn touches your soul with the love of its perspicacity. That's the word we learned. Compelling, eternal, and especially wise about that divine light within you. When it shines, the charisma of your soul magnetizes all people to you. Chant he through your crown chakra to resonate with the higher frequencies of enchantment. Wow. How perfect is that? I'm sorry. I just love when these things happen. No matter how many readings I do, it never gets old, guys. It never gets old when such cool messages come through. And they're so obviously for some specific people out there, okay? And here we go. Again, underlying expect the best is get a new story, okay? So, yeah. So you need to understand that if you've been kind of thinking more of in a negative light, or you've not been able to control your thoughts, a lot of that's because of the story you've told yourself over and over and over again since either childhood or since a specific time in your life. we all, every few years, possibly, some of us who are lucky, it's like every decade, but for a majority of people, I'd say every few years, something occurs in life that causes us to place a way of thinking or place a blueprint on our story of us to ourselves, in our mind, of what we think of ourselves. It could be some type of tragedy. It could be some type of shocking event that happens where in some way we may blame ourselves, or in some way we're ashamed of because we associate it with us because it happened in our life. So of course we associate it with us, duh. But that doesn't mean that it is us. It happened in our life, so we're associated to it, but we are not it. Does that make sense? So once we understand that, we can let that go and we can get a new story for ourselves. What is a better way to view ourselves? What's a more positive light or spin that we can put on every single situation and circumstance that we've had in our life? For example, just take one of the stories, like take a story of your own personal life that has maybe caused you to think of yourself in a negative way, in some type of negative way, in some situation that's affected how the outcome would be for that situation. Take that and see if you can spin anything about that situation and make it positive. Is there anything you can take from that? Is there any way that you can look at that and maybe help others through that, help yourself through that, find some way of learning through that? What did you learn from that experience? What did it give you? Because it wasn't for nothing, okay? Even if it was to prove to you that you're so magical that you can create a negative experience with thought alone for yourself, and that you can choose either negative or you can choose to think positive. So it's up to you. Get that new story to expect the best, right? Okay, guys. Sorry I talked so much. All right. So now I'm going to clarify. This is the fun part. Oh, Temperance, Gemini, your opposite sign, Sagittarius, but also balance. Balance of the emotions, balance of the thinking. Just balance it out, Gemini. Balance it all out. And I think what I said in the beginning about polarities sort of, I don't know why, but the theme of like opposites being more alike than, opposites being more alike than different. That's a theme for some reason right now. I think that might help you to balance, is to realize that, or to look at things that way, or at least place that thought in your mind, like emphasize that thought so that it kind of filters through everything in your days for a little bit, at least for 2 days. Try that. See if it helps you feel more balanced. Just keep thinking that. And even if you do it in like a transcendental meditation where you keep literally thinking opposites are more alike than different, or than not. The opposites are more alike than not. We're more alike than not. We're more alike than we're different. We're more the same than we're different. Whatever way you want to put it, you repeat that silently, but in your mind. Oh, wow. And by the way, I'm not reading anything reversed today. That's not my style. But you literally got the world. Full circle, okay? What did I say about this first card being 7, 8, 9, 10? 10. Full circle kind of thing. That's really amazing. That is literally what that, oh my god. Bottom of the deck for that is the Wheel of Fortune, which is another full circle kind of thing. And another karmic kind of thing. That's crazy. I'm just gonna have a sip of my coffee really quick. And just text my mother back really quick because she is texting me nonstop. Sorry, guys. My mom was showing me a drawing. My mother was an artist, is an artist. I say was, though, because, interesting, as I'm talking about my mother, the Gaia card, the Empress card, which is a mother card, comes out. So some of you may be becoming mothers. Some of you may be becoming fathers. But there's an emphasis on a birth of some kind or a creation of some kind, as well as feminine energy. Making sure to check in with the feminine side of you, whether you're male or female, it does not matter. But anyway, what I was saying about my mother, the reason I say she was an artist was because she actually originally majored in art in college, and then she, for some reason, got, I think, intimidated. Oh, let me just text her back one more time. Sorry. So she was sending me some drawings she did because she was originally an art major in college. Green Man, the Emperor, your authority, your authority figures in your life. Sometimes can be father figures, but a mother can be an authority figure as well. So it's just the more stern energy, I guess you could say, or masculine energy. But anyway, but she, for some reason, let herself be intimidated by some of the other artists, and she got discouraged somehow. And so she changed her major to something more, quote unquote, at the time to her, practical, and that was social work. So, I mean, she did very well, and she did very well for herself, okay? But recently, the last year or so, some tragedies have occurred in our family and in our lives, and especially for her. They were very close to her, these tragedies. And it has actually pushed her, the Chariot movement. It has actually pushed her to, the Star card, which is healing and hope. Okay, let me just finish what I was saying. It has actually pushed her to go back into drawing, okay? Even though she hasn't drawn or done much artwork, actually, since she was about 20, okay? And that's so crazy, but also, and it's very tragic to me, especially because I am an artist, and I am almost going to be 30, okay? And I hadn't seen anything that I've never seen my mom draw. And meanwhile, we notice now that I got my talent from her. I got a lot of my skill from her. How crazy is that? And so through this tragedy, that's what alchemy is. Through this tragedy, not that she wishes it would have, not that she ever doesn't wish it wouldn't have occurred, but through this tragedy, she's seen that there needs to be another way. There needs to be some enchantment. There needs to be some way of connecting again, that she may have been disconnected, because how did this all, the energy of this, the energy that creates tragedies, the energy that creates shocking events, it's condensed energy that was dispersed so far out like a rubber band, because instead of focusing yourself, you choose to not focus, and you focus on the wrong thing, perhaps, which is not focusing on the right thing. So you're not focusing. You're distracted by something else, or you're choosing to be. So the energy gets dispersed out, but you're never detached from your body, okay? Never. There's always a cord. So no matter where your soul is, Gemini, your body is always there. And it is like a rubber band. So the further out you try and get, if you and you'll feel it throughout the time that you're trying to get further. I mean, there will be points in that time of your life where you're like, this is starting to feel kind of depressing. I'm starting to feel kind of weird. Maybe I need to just choose to go back on track. But then you psych yourself out maybe. Then you think, oh, that's going to be too difficult. I don't want to feel that. I'm not going to do that. But guess what? Life, the universe, your spirit guides, you, God, they don't let that happen, okay? Because they care more for you. So that energy of you plus the energy of anybody you connect with on that deep of an energetic level. So people that you love, people that make you feel strong emotion, those are energy cords. So it's like, so then also the people that surround you that you love, that you have energetic cords like that with, if those people are also doing that same thing where they're trying to separate from the energy, they're trying to like separate themselves and not feel for a little bit, because it's too much. And it's not that anyone intends to never ever feel, I think, but you think it's just the same as like choosing not to clean an area up yet. I'll do it later when I have the energy. Well, guess what? You never have it because you keep pushing it, and then there's people surrounding you that you love, that you have the cord with, that are doing the same thing, and that all condenses, and eventually you will see tragedy. And then every single person in that cord connection who has been a part of that progression, whether conscious of it or not, becomes entangled in that tragedy, okay? But anyway, I don't know how it all got to that. Clearly somebody, I guess, needed that message in some way, maybe. But anyway, my whole point was that I was just texting my mom back because I'm very encouraging to her about her drawings. She was texting me a drawing of somebody, a British actress, and asking me if I could tell who it was. Oh, 1 minute, I have to pick those cards up. I'm covering my face, guys. Sorry. They fell like this, which is interesting. Oh my god. How are you literally getting nothing but... Oh, and the Empress is here again. You're getting nothing but major arcana cards. That's kind of insane, Gemini. You know, that always says that this is a huge shift for you, okay? This is no joke. This is like the real serious change in your life. You know, this is something you really need to pay attention to, and it would probably be why these cards are coming out so clearly for you, so wonderfully for you. You're coming to a completion point. It's absolutely clear, because like I said, it's team effort. The realization that it's not just you here. You decide to step into your body or not, it's up to you, but I'm hoping you do. You choose to root yourself. You realize you're the main driver of this whole situation of your life. Then you realize that the energy you're putting out magnetically is very important to your entire life and to all those that you're connected to via energetic cord. You're coming to that completion point, absolutely, in April. This is like telling me that this is what the theme of April is overall, as far as clearing these cards, or as far as clarifying these cards. This first card, the World, is that. It's telling me this is the main energy. And I feel like in this deck it's called Psyche, because it is your psyche. It's the understanding, again, that you're the main driver, that your thoughts create your reality. And that's incredible. That is when you realize you are the whole world. You have the world in your hands, basically. Because it's all about completion. It's all about that sense of belonging or wholeness. And what I've realized is that wholeness, we're always looking to feel whole through other things or through somebody else. But what we're not realizing is that the reason why is because wholeness means oneness. Because we're all connected, okay? Again, team effort, wholeness. So, and then you have the Chariot, which tells me exactly this. You're going to decide to overcome obstacles that you've had in your life because you're going to find the willpower to be the boss, to expect the best, to start thinking positively, okay? Because you have the determination now. You have the self-discipline. You know, you have the control. Because what I see here is that you've connected, or you're going to connect with your own soul and spirit. You're going to connect again with Source. No pun intended, as this card is called Sorceress. But the High Priestess, maybe there is a pun intended. Maybe, I mean, obviously in linguistics, those two words are probably the same, or they come from the same root word, which, again, we're talking about all about the root, source, the source. Root, source, interesting. Wow, that makes me realize a lot, actually. Sorceress is probably because those people that do sorcery, that have that knowledge, what it is again, this is the card of Pisces, and this is also the card of the 12th house, which represents that mysterious knowledge, that mystical, esoteric knowledge that comes from ancient times, that comes from the very beginnings. That's that knowledge. It's subconscious, it's higher powers, it's creativity, it's fertility, but creative fertility, which I think enchantment helps keep moving. The enchantment helps that creative flow keep moving, okay? Because it keeps you inspired. So, wow, you're connecting to that source. And then because of that, you realize you're the boss, or that you are the sorcerer or the sorceress of your life. And that what you expect on an energetic level, it's not just what you think, it's what you actually expect. What you're expecting is what you're going to be getting, okay? So expect the best. Amazing. What you're expecting is what you're going to be getting, and you get the Weaver, the Queen of Scrolls, which is your energy, Gemini, because it's the Queen of Swords, and swords is air, the air element. And the Queen of Scrolls or Swords typically does represent a Gemini. It could be an Aquarius or a Libra, but this is Gemini. And I love that it's specifically the Weaver, because it's exactly what it means. Just like you are the weaver of your life. You can choose to think anything you want. This person is a quick thinker. They're perceptive. They're independent. They're not clung on to anyone else's energetic thinking or their karma. That's what being attached karmically is being attached to that energetic cord somehow. Somehow you get entangled in that other person's energetic cord. You become attached to that too. You care about that thing that meant nothing to you before knowing them, perhaps. Perhaps not. That's just an example. But you become organized in your thinking specifically, because when you're organized in your thoughts, you are able to weave your life. Clearly, you're able to weave. You actually have to be organized generally as well to be able to weave a clear image. You know, this person has very clear head, clear mind, okay? You have a very mature intellect, so it's not so much clinging to the emotion. It's not clinging, but it's able to think rationally or rationalize things. You want the details. Your emotion doesn't influence your thinking, even though you're still an emotional person, but you're not letting your emotions drag you, basically. You're independent in your thinking. Again, you're not attached to other people's energetic cords. You get to the point. You're very honest. And you're very blunt with what you think. And that's not a bad thing, okay? You're not hurtful. You're just blunt. And that's good because that's how people grow. That's how you grow. You're even blunt and honest with yourself. That's what this is all saying to me, more than anything. That's how you are a team. Okay, Gemini. Last but not least, I would say this was a pretty amazing reading. All right, so the last but not least, I'm going to do one of my favorite parts because we're already at, oh my gosh, we're already at almost an hour. I'm going to pull you a spirit animal oracle card to see what animal has a message for you, or what energy of the animal has a message for you or will be with you in the month of April, okay? Whoa. Okay, Gemini. So obviously, you know, this is an energy. So again, just like we're all connected to every single thing as well. Every other being, which is animals, every other, even inanimate objects, store energy. So we're connected to that. So if you've got clutter that is old, that has perhaps witnessed or been in the presence of maybe some traumatic situations, and you think that that thing doesn't really need, you don't need that thing anymore, perhaps, well, tell it thank you for being a part of your life and goodbye, okay? Because it's not untrue that things collect energy, okay? They do. So clear the energies. I'm feeling for sure that many of you Geminis, for some reason, you need to clear the energy of your home space in some way. And not even so much the space, but it's more so the things you have around you or that you have within your living environment, because that's the other thing. Just like things collect energy, so do condensed spaces, and any space in the universe, or on, especially on this earth, in this air, in the, you know, that's connected with the environment, any space that has four walls blocking natural airflow, you're holding energy in that space. It only makes sense. It's only like the obvious point, okay? So if you have a bunch of dense objects as well that have a lot of negative energy, well, that's going to be held in that space, and you're going to attract more negative things by holding that much dense energy, okay? Because you're going to be more obvious in general, especially malevolent beings out in the cosmos, okay? I'm going to get real cosmic here, but I believe malevolent beings, they don't see us necessarily in our physical form. They don't see anything physically, perhaps, just like benevolent beings as well, but they see energy, or they see light or darkness. And by darkness, I mean density. Something will look heavier from a distance, or something will not be noticeable, depending on how light or heavy you are. And that's where the whole thing of weighing the heart comes from. But again, I don't want to go off on a tangent. Anyway, okay. So Gemini, this is interesting. You got the polar bear. So you can see this, you know, in a movie, on TV. You can hear somebody talking about it. The point is that, again, because this is a united effort, it's for whenever you notice something about a polar bear, or you're the one who's recognizing something in your environment regarding a polar bear. So, what does it say? The polar bear symbolism: power, wisdom, and peace. The Inuit peoples considered the polar bear, which they called Nanook, to be powerful and wise. The legend of Kupkui Giak, I don't know if I said that right, but describes a 10-legged polar bear living on the Arctic ice pack who renounced the violence of his four-legged relatives and attempted to create a community based on peace and love. In the painting titled Playing with the North Wind, the bear dances and cavorts with the wind. What? Air? Gemini, you are an air sign. You are ruled by the wind, air. Wow. The wind, a symbol of spiritual energy. Boulez, who identified with the bear totem, completed this painting in 1996, shortly after her death in 1997. The raised forepaw of the bear in the painting appears to be waving goodbye. Oh, wow. So Gemini, that could mean many things. That could mean you're letting something go, you're deciding to let something go that could be, you know, just a way you thought in the past. Yeah. Especially, how crazy is it that this is talking about wind and you are the air element? This is so meant for you, Gemini. I'm going to leave my message about this to that because I feel like you guys are going to have much more to work with as far as connections to this message goes. So I hope that you guys got everything you needed from this. Whoever I was reading for, I hope that you received answers to your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or comment down below, as well as just letting me know how this went for you. I'm going to be back in the middle of the month to do something different for the mid-months, okay? And yeah, I love you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful April until the middle of the month when you see me again. All right. Love you. Bye.